Well, friends, good night, good night, good night. So I wanted to give you some time to come on because I know that, we just were coming from one video to the next video. This was a tough mini life to decide if I wanted to do, but because O'Neill has to do the job and someone has to do the job, I decided that, you know what, I have to come on and listen reported it. It was tough to watch this and to watch how Amber was in this, but hey, let's talk about it. Let's go.
What's up, man? Baby, so precious. Thank you. I love you.
So what's ironic about this actual piece, right, is the fact that the one that wants a child doesn't have one. The one that doesn't want a child is the one that doesn't have one. So I don't know what's going on, man.
Hey, bud.
Hey,
You okay?
yeah, I'm good. Just playing with Kai.
You alright? Hey, man. Baby. What's the matter?
I just, I keep thinking how I could never give you a baby.
Baby.
It's tough. She's living in the land of doubt right now. There are so many, great comments going out for her. Hopefully, she's pregnant as we speak. We are hopes that she get pregnant, but it's more than just the pregnancy right now. We are hope that she actually can stay pregnant. My heart aches for Amber. There's a lot of good comments going out here, so guys, it tough. Amber is not going to be pregnant. That's what Clarence says. She not get pregnant. Women have to go through so much. Men go through a lot too. Don't make it seem as if men don't go through a lot. When men lose babies, especially when they want a baby, we think about it. We just process it in different ways. I want you to understand that. Angela Atkinson, never ever think that a man don't want him kid, especially if he's been trying to have a child. You have men out there who have been trying to have a child and just can't have one. You understand? So I don't want you to make it look like it's just women alone.
I couldn't keep the one that we got.
No. No. Baby, look at me. Look at you. Look at me. Don't do that to yourself. You hear me? No.
What's wrong with me?
Nothing is wrong with
What's
you.
wrong with
Nothing
me?
is wrong with you. Look at me. God gave me you.
Yeah.
All right?
Okay.
He gave me you.
Yeah.
And your prayers and your love, that's what got us here.
Yeah.
Don't do that to yourself.
Well, it's tough to tell her, not to do that to herself, but then she has to feel the actual pain of losing like a kid, which is very, very tough. I love this comment, Marche. This is very sad, but I don't think that Anthony is the right person for her to have a baby with. The Lord is covering her, and he has somebody better for Amber that to have a baby with. This was sad to watch. It's extremely sad to watch, and you know what they're putting on us for tonight. But God, we have got to process it out. We have to process it out. Okay. I think I agree with Marcia on this one that maybe it is Anthony is not the right guy for Amber to have a baby with. In other words, maybe if she goes with somebody else, she might have a baby faster. Because sometimes genetics is like that as well. Let me ask you a question. Do you believe? Do you think Anthony is the right person for Amber to have a baby with? This is tough, I know it's tough to watch. One for yes and two for no, but I just believe that he's the wrong guy. He is the wrong person to have whatever it is. I just believe that that's what it is. Him are the wrong person to have baby with. That's just what I think right now.
No.
I'm sorry.
No, don't be sorry, but no, don't do that to yourself. No. Baby, no. Mm-mm.
I just want to give you a baby.
Baby, you don't have to give give me anything. You have given me
Of
plenty.
hold on, man. No, man. Even though you're telling her that the truth is she has to give you a child. Why? Because, again, it's not because she have to, but you have to look at it from the space of a woman. A woman wants to bear children. That's why I'm not knowing who you can tell who have to have a child. You see, yeah, that is true. I'm just that is true, Angela. I can see that is true that you can't tell who you have a child with. I'm just saying maybe it is that like he's not the right. This is what I mean when I said that. Maybe he's not the right person to have a child with. In other words, let me explain to you. Sometimes you will work with a partner and for some reason only just don't get no children. But then you go with a next partner and you've seen it time and time again with people. But you go with a next partner and right after the bat you just have children. Right after the bat you have children because you're just compatible. That's all I'm saying. In other words, it feels to me like Amber may be more compatible with someone else. That's kind of what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. So maybe the question is Amber, do you think that God, let's use this then. God is telling Amber that she is more compatible for a baby with someone else. There you go. That's the question then. One for yes, yes, and two for no. That's kind of what I'm saying. Sometimes it might be that you're just not compatible with a soul there, you know what I mean? And so you're just not bearing a fruit, not bear y'all don't bear any children at all. I've some women just more fruitful. That's how I can say them just a little more fruitful than others. It's a tough thing. Don't worry. I don't think me not understand it as a man. It really is tough because a woman having a child is one of the greatest joys in the world. Me nah say nay. Me nah say nay, but some of the times it may just be that she just not compatible with a guy there. You know what I mean? But hey, and he's saying the right things. We're just commenting on the skits, Angela Atkins. Trust me, he must say the best things that we can possibly say. O'Neill Anthony is saying the right things to her. He can tell her something is gonna lead to more depression. Exactly, you are correct. I'm not saying it's just how she's feeling right now. And to me, how she's feeling right now, I probably wouldn't say anything. Would I just hold on to her? At this point, me just need to hold her. Me don't need to talk anymore. Me just need to hold her.
I thank God every day that He gave me you.
I miss my baby. I miss my baby. I miss my baby.
Sorry.
It's baby.
Hey, man, hey. Hey.
Look at Kai just walking around on the entire screen. Good thing him did it. So him can actually bring back some amount of what you call now, some amount of joy in the actual scene in itself because the scene is a little bit, is dragging and depressing if you ask me. But we're just commenting upon the skit in itself, you know what I mean? All I'm saying is this. They tried to bear a child before and it never worked. And I'm just saying that some of the times, some of the times you may just have a partner who just me no know something about the two and just don't, bear. I don't know what it is. Me, it's something I can't explain. And you find somebody else and all of a sudden you can bear with them. So I'm not saying whatever it is. It's like put it this way. All me can say is she's lost two babies and so she feel that. You know what I mean? It's great acting by both of them. That is for sure, Kasim. They both are definitely acting the whole role out of all of this. On your TV, I was with my husband for 5 years before I convinced so okay, before I conceive, sorry about that. Before I conceive, so things in God's time, possibly, and that maybe is what I'm talking about. Charmin, I'm talking about the mere fact that it's God's timing. It may just be like Him just not at the timing, just not there right now, But I don't know. It's something about the. I've come to understand, Angela Atkinson, that there's something about the metaphysical when it comes to partners. That they can choose a partner and for some reason the two of them just don't click. It's almost like y'all go into business and it just don't work. But then you find a next partner and it work for them. That's what I'm talking about. I'm gonna talk about all of that. That's what I'm talking about.
It's all right. We have something beautiful. God doesn't make.
It's tough. It really and truly is tough to watch her have to kind of suffer from all of this. It just is tough to watch. But hey, I mean it. It is what it is. It is what. Let me read some of y'all's comments. You can never replace a child with another one. Just wait on God and keep the faith. That is true. I would say that, Joycelyn. Let me see y'all's comment tonight. Denise M says, he said you don't have to give me a baby to relieve the pressure off her mind. No, I understand, Denise. I know that's what I'm saying it for. But sometimes I feel like I've come to understand that sometimes you want to hold a woman. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like you want to do. Um, but only if they conceive together, then what I'm saying is that at this point in time, them now carry the child to fruition. Like for example, because me can consider it as you bringing the child to fruition. There's all right. I'm going in on a spiritual level now. Me not don't look surface. You may be thinking of it as a surface thing. All I'm saying is that I'm looking at this from a spiritual level. Maybe spiritually, the two of them spirit now join properly. And so whatever it is them try for beer, it don't work. Does that make sense? I don't really know if you remember the story of Abraham and Sarah, right? And what happened when Sarah couldn't bear any children, right? God tell Abraham, say, he need to get circumcised, right? How I interpret it is that his mind needed to be circumcised. I interpreted that Sarah was very pushy. What Sarah ended up doing, Sarah ended up having Abraham impregnate Hagar, right? And when he impregnate Hagar, they got who? Ishmael, who was a child who was wild and filled with confusion. And it took them about another 20 or so years before them could have produced again, because guess what? They just weren't compatible at the time. That is what I'm talking about. When may I refer to this, may I refer to it from a spiritual place. In other words, what may I say is there's something going on between the two of them that their minds are not joining properly, so the baby can come to fruition. That's what may I talk about. But hey, I'm just giving you, but all me know is that Kai is happy in the house, and that's true. All me know is that Kai is happy in his house. Exactly. The good piece is that Kai is happy in the house, and that's the biggest piece. They need one accord. That's correct. One journey, one accord. So in other words, Anthony, I think the trickiness that Anthony is playing, because think about it, when he was doing his thing with Shayla, both of them were on the same page. No wonder the conceiving work out so much, But anyway, hey, but O'Neill, I'm happy she is getting all of this off her chest now, so she can get over it and get it. That's correct. Stephanie, this I know what me say now. Yes, me love the fact that she had take it off her mind. Like it's she's processing all of this, the hurt, the pain and the anger. And that me want to say my woman them processing it, because when them process them things there, then they go into the next relationship or the next phase of their relationship as a better personnel. Does that make sense? So that's kind of where I'm going from. I'm just being that I'm talk about it from a spiritual place and get very metaphysical. That's really me think about it, because me look at things from being very, very spiritual. You understand? Every time something happen, it happened from a spiritual level. I've had kids where it never come true either too. Where I mean, me try to get my lady pregnant at one point in time and it never work out. Yeah, and it never work out at all. But hey, it is what it is. Angela Atkinson said, you said, O'Neill, I disagree. Shayla conceived when Anthony was drunk. Well, even if she conceived when Anthony was drunk, I'm just saying maybe that they're looking at it as one accord. But it's like give you look, we could talk about it all of the day for whatever else it is. It's fine. Me get what you mean. All I'm saying is conceiving. What has been happening? What we know about Anthony and Amber's relationship is that it need more cohesiveness. Anthony I move tricky, right? And Amber is trying to be with him at the same point in time, and they need for giant forces. And I think that that's exactly what it's looking for. And why I say that is because she lose two babies now. One that she try and bear for herself, and one that she actually even get from somewhere else. So something is happening spiritual in them house. Why them keep losing these babies? That is the point me I try to raise. But hey, whichever way you want to go at it, Shayla's raggedy self was already pregnant. That is true, trap star. She could possibly be pregnant. So that may be the actual thing. Don't worry yourself. O'Neill have ways and means of doing this, but you can have your ways of, interpreting it. Nothing is wrong with the interpretations. I'm not always right. I just give you an interpretation. Shayla may have already been pregnant. Possibly. As we've been saying that it might not be her kid. You have to have faith to please the Lord and get your heart's desires from the Lord. And Anthony isn't in right standing with the Lord. That matters. You have to treat your wife right. That's the Bible. Yeah, it just something about it. But hey, I love this. I love the biblical perspectives tonight. I love the biblical perspectives. We have to remember that when they tried to get pregnant the first time because she wants to be pregnant with Shayla, I believe in due time with her baby. Is something I talk about correlator? Yes, those are the things I'm talking about. Those are the things me I talk about. In other words, she wasn't getting pregnant because it's the thing for her and her husband to do. She getting pregnant because of other people. And sometimes God don't respect them time in the God. Sometimes God don't respect you playing with his timing. Are you trying to see if it can force a result? And I think her story is indicative of the Sarah and Abraham story. Now, I don't know if Anthony have the faith like Abraham, but hey, the story is indicative of that, right? Where Sarah tried to produce and couldn't produce because Sarah was very contentious and all of that kind of thing, you know. But hey, however I want to interpret it, let's look at it. Let me see exactly what else I have here, so. I think Arby is the father. That's what Milver is saying, that Arby might be the father. Shayla has never had a baby for Anthony. And when Amber least expect it, she will get pregnant in God's timing. Jocelyn, that's what we've been saying. That's the deal right now. In a God's timing. In God's timing. All me I say is them have to just pray in a faith and get stronger right now. The stronger they become, I think that that's when the baby will come. That's what I believe. In my mind, I believe that that's what it is. Wait. What What about people who just go out and have a one night stand and get pregnant and their child turn out okay? I'm not saying name, I'm not saying a child can't turn out okay. It may be that them in the same lineage in terms of the mind powers are in the same. I'm gonna give it again. These are just biblical perspectives. Just like your perspective from my understanding of the spiritual realm and God and all them kind of things here. I believe that your mind go in a level of oneness, right? So the people who go up on a one night stand and them have a baby, I think their mind going a oneness at that point in time to have an actual baby. During the time they were trying to do the whole idea of babies with Anthony and Amber, their minds were just never joined. Their minds were always against each other. It was always pitting against each other. And I think that could be what the writers are showing. Maybe they might show something different. I'm just giving y'all something, you know. Somebody said the DNA test will take too long. So, y'all are something else, you know. Who said she couldn't have a baby? We're not saying she couldn't have a baby, but she never bear the baby to fruition. That's what we're talking about, Shadara. So when we say bearing a child, Shadara, we're talking about bringing the baby from fetus to bringing the baby into real life form and into the physical. That's what we are talking about. So that's the level that I'm talking about. In other words, bringing the baby forward. So she not lose the baby at all or any of those things. So we're not so she can't get pregnant, but we're talking now about bringing the baby to fruition where the baby is now around them and with them. Anthony's not Kai's father, and that is when Amber is gonna fall pregnant. Possibly. Possibly. It could be that it could be. Possibly. Amber need to get a DNA test. Let's see Nadir if she'll get a DNA test, because there's a lot to look at right now. If it is God's will. Rochelle, thank you very much. If a God will, I know your will or God's will. And you can't will the thing them too much. I just God's will right now, God's timing. God's timing. God's timing. That's so is a level of there's some faith component inside of this story. There's a level of faith component where it's a matter of trusting the boy them testing the faith of the audience. They're testing our faith, but I still do believe that she have a shot at getting back the grace what she did have before. Me believe she have a shot at that. She's gone through a lot of things, but hey, me believe she can get there. Marche, yes, a husband and wife are supposed to become one, and that's not the case with Amber and Anthony. Correct? And that we are saying that the marriage has been very contentious. People has put a lot of energies on their marriages. People have put a lot of bad mouth on the marriage, and she has let a lot of people in to talk down our marriage. You know what I mean? Because sometimes people talk down your goodness. People sometimes talk down your goodness. A DNA test should be done, and not by Amber. Let the courts do it. So I love that Lady Tara. I love that, I love that. I love that. O'Neill, Amber gonna get pregnant when she's not even preparing for a child. Yes. Yes, because it is when you let go and let God. That's when it happens. Generally, when it happens. If you let go and let God, Let me say, if Amber let go and let God. If Amber let go, here it is. If Amber let go and let God, will she possibly get, or not even get pregnant, have a baby? There we go. One for yes and two for no. Remember the story of Abraham, and Sarah. It was after them let go and let God, and Abraham get circumcised. It was after all of that. That's when them get the baby. That's when they got who is it them have? It's not Ishmael. Come on, guys, give me biblical principles here. Let me see if we can search for it. Abraham and Sarah. Abraham and Sarah. Let me look it up. Had a child. With the child name with them have Isaac. That is correct. That is when them get Isaac, the peaceful millionaire. There we go. It is after them let go and let God that they got Isaac, and Isaac was a peaceful child. He was a child who inherit the goodness of God because of the peaceful nature that come from both of them. Right now, that's when it come from all of that. So I think them can get a Isaac. Do you believe? There we go. There we go. I love how I wrote the Bible tonight. That Amber and Anthony can get an Isaac. Can they get an Isaac? That's a question. One for yes and two for no. Now, of course, we know say Anthony have to get way more honest. Him have to become more open. Him have to love him wife some more for get an Isaac. Cause you're not going to just get an Isaac, so You're not just going to get an Isaac like that. You're going to get an Isaac when you have stopped forcing your way with things. And when you stop forcing your way, that's when you get a Isaac. And you get a peaceful, lovely son who come through and him be the best and people love him and all that works out. You understand? If not, then she's going to get an Isaac with somebody else. If not Anthony, she's getting an Isaac with somebody else. But it's just a matter of faith, man. It's just a matter of faith. It's just a matter of faith. Charmaine, where's the Charmaine? Amber said on her live that she wants another child in another year or two before she turns 45. Maybe something is in the making. That's correct. There's a bun in the oven. Maybe she put a bun in the oven. So we know that something is coming. So we know that some baby are coming out. Now that she expected this baby, she's gonna get pregnant. Now that she has accepted, there we go, Clarissa. Yes, possibly that's what it is too. Now that she has accepted this baby, because me I tell you, she afraid a lot of the contention has to go. Let me see what you say now, Angela. I can say, if Amber get pregnant, do you think Amber gonna care about Anthony? She gonna have someone to call her own. Of course, man. What you not talk about? You have to work on the Isaac, What you mean? She'll get somebody to call her own baby. Kai is not Anthony's child. Anthony is a jellyback man. For those who are new to the channel or to the culture of Jamaica, a jellyback man is one that is not able to have kids. So they're saying that Anthony is not the father. Anthony is a jellyback. So, do you believe that Anthony is a jellyback man? Do you believe that Anthony is a jellyback man? One for yes. And two for no. So they must say Anthony is a jellyback right now. They must say I know Anthony are the father right now. They must say Anthony. Because also two ladies, don't forget this, and not because us men don't talk about it. Well, it would have never happened with Little D because he was not blood. Anthony and Amber, of Anthony and Amber. Anthony knew and felt it every day that that little boy was in their presence. True. Russia, that is true. The funny thing is, and let's point this out. Let's be very real with this. Sometimes the sperm can be very, what you call it now, cannot be good sperm. So don't act like say It's just women have complications, men have complications too. A man may have issues, the sperm may have issues, and so the sperm doesn't carry a good life, or it does a, what you call it, a misfired birth or a miscarriage or whatever it is. In other words, the sperm not as healthy. It might get it pregnant, but it not able to come through on life. And that's what I'm saying now. It is two ways from the man and the woman. So don't feel it's just women alone. Don't think it's just women alone. Understand, say men are a part of this too. Men are a part of it too. Men have a role to play in the getting of a child, because if the sperm not healthy, that also can be a thing. That's why we are saying this right now. That's why we are saying right now. Yeah, so that's why the jellyback comment now far out. You understand? Them I say him is a jellyback. Whoever write a comment, why not easy, you know, man? Why not do it, lad? Why not do it? They must say Anthony's a jellyback. Can't follow. Amber loves Kai. Before she knew Kai was for Anthony. Of course, the woman loved the little baby. The funny thing is, she actually want. That's the funny thing about this story. And it happens like this a lot of times. Women mistreat men with kids, and they mistreat the child, when another woman out there would have wanted and loved that actual child. Yeah, them a call it shooting blanks. You can't have miscarriage of misfire of sperm. Don't go around it, guys. No, because we are talking about Amber and the pregnancy for whatever it is. No means that Anthony may not have problems too and complications. He could have complications. The soldiers may be having issues. The soldiers them can get issues, you know. Not going like the soldiers them not have issues. Maybe the soldiers them have issues, you don't know. You know what I mean? Do you believe that Anthony's soldiers are giving issues? Them are going to wrong place, stuff like that. One for yes, and two for no. There we go. The soldiers may be giving issues. They may be marching left, right to the wrong place. You understand? Left and right. Left, right, left, right. Attention. I don't know what you've been told. I don't know what you don't know. If the soldiers them work well. Attention. It's We don't know if you are really jellyback. We don't know these things. People are speculating and don't know. Them don't know if the soldiers them now march. Soldiers on and marching on. I don't know what you've been told. Attention. At ease, gentlemen. At ease. Salute. Maybe the soldiers aren't working properly. So that's the deal. But hey, but did she want to try again after adopting David? I think she should try again. Maybe that's the question, Brittany. Should she try again? That's the question. The mini lives end abruptly. I know, I understand one journey, but them are mini lives because of the time and night. Do you think? Do you think that Amber should try again? That's the question. One for yes, and two for no. Do you think she should try again? Do you think she should try again? Stephanie said the problem might be Amber's reproduction, sure, but it could also be Anthony's reproduction, because it's not just women alone that have complications in pregnancy. Sometimes men have complications as well, and you have to look at it that way. But maybe they can try again. Try, try. Maybe they can try again. Jelly back. I will leave the mini live right there. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna talk to y'all soon. Jelly back or no jelly back? Jelly back or no jelly back? Jelly back or no jelly back? Jelly back or no jelly back?